welcome back everyone to the knockout of Amazon's Pride. I am woman Grandmaster Dina Belenkaya and I am so excited to be hosting this knockout event together with 12th world champion Grandmaster Alexandra Kosteniuk.
Hello, Gina. What a pleasure to be here. The most exciting part is about to begin, right? The knockout, the 8 fastest, luckiest, strongest, whatever you choose the word, players are here to compete, and I will gladly follow the stage with you, Dina, and all of our dearest spectators.
And we will be having the game starting very soon. You already can see, our dear viewers, the matchups that we have on our screens. These are the knockouts. The games will be 3+1. Everybody will play 2 games, one with white and one with black. In the case of a tie, there's gonna be a bullet game, 1+1. Alexandra, you yourself are extremely strong in online Blitz, and you even were considering to participate in this event.
Actually, I was so disappointed that somehow, I don't know, I missed this chance. I agreed to comment with you, and actually, I was considering still till the very last minute to let you know that I'm willing to play at least in the Nakamura style. You play the tournament and then you are not going to the knockout stage. But still, I think it's unfair. I mean, in case, for example, I qualify, right? In case, it's very hard, I mean, to get to this top 8. But if, for example, I managed to get to the top 8, and then meaning that I, for example, won against somebody else, and then I'm not playing in the knockout, it's very cruel to the other players. So I decided, okay, to stick to the commentary instead, and just watching this tournament. And but it's amazing. It's amazing. What I want to say, it's so nice to have such a tournament for ladies with big prize funds, and of course, it's very tempting to be a participant there as well. But nevertheless, as we can see, the knockout stage just started, and we have the top 8. We have 4 quarter finals. So Alina Bivel is playing Maria Gevorgyan, and we see the position on the board. Katerina Lagno, which is, I think, is clear favorite here in this knockout stage, is playing Daria Voigt. Elina Danielyan is playing Olga Babi. Gulnar Mamadova is playing Savita Shri. I think Savita is the only player that I am not familiar with. I checked out her profile on chess.com, and she's a young player from India. In her chess.com profile, it says 14 years old player, so another youngsters. But yeah, I'm expecting to see many great games. As far as I understand, all the the quarterfinal stage is being played like at the same time, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
And then we will be able to follow the semifinals one by one. So right now it will be a little bit challenging, of course, to switch in between those 4 interesting matches, but it will become a little bit easier for the commentators and spectators in the semifinals. But each match, as you already mentioned, consists of 2 games with 3+1 time control, with the higher rated player starting white. And then if the score is 1-1 after these 2 matches, then there's gonna be one game 1+1, right? Until somebody wins. So it's not like an Armageddon game, but it's just single game with 1-1 time.
Yeah, that is correct, Alexandra. And we also have our viewers in the chat who were there with you this morning. And I've heard that you had a very, very special show. And I believe one of the viewers has donated the prize that was not expected before, has donated to the special beauty prize. So I believe that was also your take on this event.
That's very nice to hear, and of course, any support is appreciated. And I think we can say that we're like dreaming of organizing. Magnus Carlsen organizes Super Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour, but it would be nice to see something similar for women's chess. And maybe this tournament is like one of the first steps in this direction, right?
Absolutely.
I can guarantee that there are not gonna be many draws in the Berlin or Grunfeld like the ones that grandmasters make in the Magnus Carlsen Tour, because well, we like chess, and if we have a chance to play chess, we try to use this chance to its maximum.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you can support such a tour, and we can say that it's our dream, right? It's our dream to see it happen.
I'm actually
Okay.
glad you mentioned it. You brought it up because this was actually the idea of creating such an event for me was coming from the fact that ever since the breakdown, the lockdown, there have been so many online tournaments for men, but only one in the very beginning for women, and I wanted to create something like that.
I've
So
had the whole series of tournaments, which was called Ladies Only.
yeah, that is correct. That is
Yeah,
correct.
the whole year from September last year was ending with the super final in March this year. So we also had a great field, and actually Katerina Lagno won this event. So and Olga Babi played many tournaments there. Elina Danielian also won one of the legs of this Grand Prix series, if we can say. So yeah, I know these participants very well.
Yeah.
But of course, also chess.com hosted the Women's Speed Chess Championship last year and this year. A very interesting event with many qualification tournaments, so giving chance to anyone to qualify, which is very important, as I can see it. So there are some tournaments. There are some tournaments, and chess.com is doing a lot of stuff for women's chess as well. But of course, I mean, more tournaments, better it is, and it's great to see initiatives such as yours today to support women's chess. We should also mention, yeah, Jennifer Shahade I mean, she also organized two tournaments, right? At least two, and I think I participated in both. Isolated Queens, it was
Yeah,
called.
that was correct. That was correct. That was in the very beginning. Yeah, no, you're definitely right. There have been events. There have been events here and there for women. It's not like no one was playing, but yeah, my point was definitely the difference between the how many events are for men and how many for women, and that is something to be changed. You said it yourself, and hopefully
Yeah, but
they'll.
I like that, sometimes people complain. I mean, some just complain and some try to make a difference, try to make something. If you are not, I mean, if you don't like the situation, if you think it can be improved, then okay, you can take steps in this direction. And that's why it's so nice to see this tournament happening. And let's hope that it's just gonna be a first step with many more tournaments like this to follow. Okay, we can like pay closer attention to the chessboard, and our spectators are discussing this position. Knight d3. Wow, something is going on. I don't like um, this move knight d3, but sometimes you have this feeling that the move is wrong, but since it's seconds, you just cannot really prove why it's wrong. And yeah, let me um, switch on. I mean,
Yeah, we
I've
have
done.
this game between Alina Bevel and Arm Queen right now, still on the screens, and all the other games are happening at the same time. Don't hesitate to suggest switching onto another game once you feel this is the right time.
Well, I mean, since we had Alina's game, we need to let it finish to see how it's gonna end, the first one, and then we can go and see what's happening in other matches, right, as well.
Yeah.
So Alina is about to win, if nothing, I mean, terrible um, what happened. So, well, it's a huge material advantage, and most likely she's gonna win, unless she stalemates her opponent. But I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, f7, rook h8, and
Ah, yeah, that's an easy win.
yeah. And well, that's the first step to the finals for Alina. Actually, she's having a great run, right? She's been suffering in the Russian super final. That she suffered a lot. It was her debut in the Russian super final, but these tournaments are tough, boy. I've been there. I know what it's like. I've also suffered through many super finals, but yeah, and it's often after like a very tough classical tournament, you're you're at least trained well to play a Blitz tournament. That often happens like this. Okay, so what? How the first games ended? Alina won. We saw. Who else?
Yeah, so Alina Bival won her game against Maria Givargan. Elina Danielian won her game against Butterfly. And Katerina Lagno unfortunately lost her game to Daria Voigt.
Ah, that might happen. Well, Daria is also quite a strong and experienced player. Not many spectators might know her name, but Dina and I know this player very well. And actually, Daria also played in the Russian Super Final. And you see, the girls who just participated in the Russian Super Final are doing great. And actually, who participated and not did well. That also sometimes. I mean, for example, Valentina Gunina, she tried to qualify here right today, but since she was first, she ended first in the Russian Super Final. She won, and it often happens like this. I mean, your body and your mind kind of saying to yourself, okay, I did it, now it's time to rest. And that's a good, I mean, you cannot really be in this terrible, I mean, excellent form all the time. You need to let yourself relax and go. And it's better to relax on, I mean, in these Blitz tournaments because actually it's a very busy season. And the Riga Grand Swiss is coming, and then some of the girls are going to play in the European Teams Championship. And it all started in the online Olympiad, the women's team championships, and now the Russian super final. And some of the girls are just playing one after another. And so it's like a very, very busy time. And but what I was saying that Alina Bival and Daria Voigt did not do great in the Russian super final. Of course, they hoped for better results. But now, as you can see, sometimes you are struggling through one tournament, and then I mean it just doesn't click. It doesn't work, and I mean, even if you play well, sometimes it just doesn't. It's a play, and your opponent just get better and play better. But yeah, but next tournaments are coming, and then it turns out that this time it works. So
Yeah, it's a very good theory. I like you bringing it up. And also, Alina, oh, sorry. Yeah, Alina and Daria Voigt both had their debut in the super finals. And yeah, I think that was a good experience for them either way.
oh, you should go. I mean, the result, of course, is very important for like chess players who pay attention most of all to the results, but it's not really. Still, I mean, there are other things in life.
Yeah, and also this year's super final was very different from others because neither you yourself, neither Katerina Lagno did not participate, so it was quite.
Sandra Горячкина, but
Yeah, neither. So.
trust me, these girls who played, they're very strong, and of course, it is different when I and Katya. Well, Katya hasn't played for a while. She hasn't played since 2015, I think. It's the last time she participated in a Russian super final. So she's not a freaking guest there. But for myself, yeah, it's been, I think the last time I skipped the Russian super final was back in 2016 when a very interesting Blitz tournament in China kind of was held at the same time as the Russian super final. I decided to play in China instead. Okay, but let's see. Katerina Lagno in a must-win situation now, right? She lost her first game. Actually, she lost her first game with White. We saw the ending position where Daria seemed to play a very good game. And but right now, I mean, Katerina has a very good position. Her knight on d6 is blocking the d5 pawn. I mean, the d5 pawn is a passed pawn by, but I mean, it cannot go through. For example, it cannot move because of this blockage on this d6 square. And at the same time, it's black has a very good center, and her pawns e5 and f5 can easily start to move forward at some point. At some point, we can expect to see the move e4, opening up the big diagonal and the bishop and the queen on g7 and f6. And of course, the rook will eventually go to d8 and bishop a3. Well, white is trying to prepare for e4. Yes, they're trying to put her bishop on this longest diagonal as well, on this a1, h8 diagonal. But, I mean, it requires time. And
Wow,
yeah,
it is indeed
I
a
like black
very
strategy, of course.
interesting maneuver for white, but yeah, this center and also this bishop on g2, it is kind of blocked by its own pawn on d5, and this d5 pawn from one side it's a pass pawn, but for other side it's blocked by the knight, and we do know that the knight is the best blockader. So yeah, I do agree. Black is strategically wise. Black is doing good here.
Yeah, but white is trying. White is trying hard. To see she's preparing knight b5. She's trying to exchange this knight on d6. And at the same time, black is. I didn't like though king h7 move because I think king h8 would have been okay. Anyway, I mean, I just since black is going to push her pawns forward, right? This king on h7 and queen on g6. This construction I'm not so sure about. But anyway, pawns are coming forward, and so far so good. And Katerina has a time advantage, a positional advantage, and we can expect a tie break here in this match. I see that match between Mamadeva and her opponent ended. Gulnar Mamadeva won her match 2-0 very convincingly, so we're gonna see her in the semifinal.
Wow.
I'm just keeping an eye also on the other three matches, and Elina Danielian seems to be winning as well. So over there, it's kind of decided. And for Maria Gevorgyan versus Alina Bivol, actually, we might see another tiebreak. Yeah, White is winning. White is winning there. They won.
Ooh, white
And
has
meaning
just
that
won.
Maria, even I mean, she yeah, she won back, and meaning we're gonna see the tiebreak here. So two tiebreaks probably, right? Katerina Lagno, Daria Voigt. I mean, we need to wait and see if Katerina manages to bring her positional advantage to full point. It's not always obvious. I mean, sometimes she did manage quite easily. Okay, good for her. So we're gonna see two tie breaks. And Elina,
This game is still on in
it's still
progress.
on. It's not clear at all. I mean, Olga has practical chances to even the score. Of course, black is much better, but you see, white won on time. So three tie breaks, 3-1-1 score.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
black was
wow.
pushing, and but at the same time, this time control with just one additional seconds increment, it's so tricky. I mean, your hands trembling, your heart is beating so fast, and that I don't know. I have troubles making moves in 1 second. I don't know how about you, but even making pre-moves, I mean, sometimes I'm just not so used to. You really need to be used to playing online to be able to hold this. I mean, to play on 1 second increment. For me,
Definitely.
it's not the same.
Well, I do know that it's super hard, but what I do believe in is that this is the skill that you can train, and it is about practice. So
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not so
easier
sure.
said than done, you will say.
Yes, definitely, because it's also about your nerve system, because sometimes you're just not capable of keeping still. You know, you need to just to forget about time, but at the same time, think fast, react fast, and be precise. I don't know. It's the skills that really. It's not. I mean, you think that it's so easy, right? Moving your mouse around and just making good. No, guys, it's difficult. It's so difficult. And well, we're waiting for 3 tie breaks.
Okay. So yeah, the time breaks should be coming soon. I believe that following the players will be still working. Wow, 3 tie breaks out of 4. Look at this. We are having a lot of fight, and this was the theme of the tournament. Amazon's women warriors.
Women's chess. Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of 1-1 score, but no draws, right? Oh, actually, it says that Gulnar Mamadova and Savita Shri is also 1-1. 1-1. I thought that. I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, yeah, we have 4 tie breaks out of 4. It's my bad. I thought
Wow.
that Gulnar Mamadova won 2-0. No, in fact, Savita fought back and won her second game, and now it's time to enjoy 1 minute chess.
Look at this. So we will be having wow, oh wow, 4 games happening simultaneously. Alexandra, which game will be focusing on the most? Because I believe 1+1 we will have to pick only one.
Well, of course, I'd like to see Katerina's game because since I named her a favorite, and I think she is. Well, she's the current, she's the reigning Women's World Blitz champion. Actually, I think she's a 3 times Women's World Blitz champion, and twice in a row in 2018 and 2019, if I'm not mistaken. She won the last 2 Women's World Championships. So it's an amazing Blitz player and a very strong Blitz player. But we see that she's also struggling in this tournament. It's not an easy walk for her. And girls are fighting and fighting hard. And yeah.
Wow. That's
And actually, I must congratulate you on the number of spectators that are watching this stream right now. I think more than 4,300 spectators. I think it's amazing. It's a great success, and thank you guys for supporting this stream. And when you're supporting, I mean, when you're watching this stream, that means you're supporting it. You're supporting the players, you're supporting the organizer, and that's great.
absolutely. Seems like we are having already Arm Queen. Is Arm Queen already playing? Let me check.
Yeah.
Wow, yes. Thank you so much, everybody who is tuning in, who is watching. We also got the raid. Speaking of viewers, we had, I believe, Anna Cromling, who was also participating in the event and streaming and who sent us the raid. Okay, so let me see. No, yes.
No one is playing. It seems so. Yeah, some time is required to make these girls play.
Yeah. Right, so we will be yeah, we'll be having games 1+1, 2 games 1+1, and hopefully there's gonna be a result after.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't believe we're gonna see many draws in these. It's almost impossible to make a draw, I think, in 1+1, unless it's like, it's a stalemate again.
Yeah, usually you do see some results there. Yeah, let me.
Okay, and we can ask our spectators what are the players they're rooting for, right? Who are you rooting for? Who is your favorite player? Who would you like to see winning this tournament?
Yeah, I actually think that in such events, the favorites most likely are not winning the whole thing just because there is so much scrambling over there.
Well, I can tell you the way I see it. I think that the most difficult part is to qualify to the top 8. I mean, if you've qualified, it's already like, because it was a relatively short Swiss, so only 9 rounds. For a Blitz tournament, it's relatively fast, and yeah, it's a question of luck. I mean, you lose one game and you're on the verge of just losing your chances.
Actually, now that I see the regulations, we have put a tiebreak in the 1+1 game. Does that mean that we'll have only one 1+1 game?
So you mean it's like
Maybe
the
it's
Armageddon
two.
game?
I will leave this to the arbiter. I will leave this to the arbiter to decide. And he actually says yes right now. Wow. And the highest seed is playing white. We have the game on our screens, by the way. This is the most important.
That's good. Yeah, by the way, we need to have a look at them. Whom are we following? Katerina's?
So we have right now Arm Queen versus Zabival, and
Okay, let's
all of
have
them
a
together.
look.
No. I'm sticking to our plan. Katerina versus Daria Voigt. This is the game.
Okay. Well, Katerina is threatening to give a checkmate in one. That's already like a huge success. It was a Karakan defense. Quite a rare line. It was Queen E2.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, no, it's not a rare line. It's one of the most played line nowadays. But Bishop E6, I mean, quite a rare move. I'm not sure I've seen this one, but anyway, so far so good. Okay, Black protected the H7 square, and it's a classical Caro-Kann position setup, right? Black managed to put the bishop to fan Keto's bishop, which is great for them. And well, Black is doing well. They're doing great, unless, I mean, it's only time. It's only time. What Knight H7 is a bad decision. I mean, why to exchange such a strong bishop on G7? Well, Black thought that the bishop on E5 is as strong as the bishop on G7, but actually I preferred Black's position with the bishop on G7. But of course, it's very hard to say why. And usually, if White has more advantage, more space advantage, it's considered to be a good idea to exchange pieces. But okay, but anyway, it's gonna be decided on last seconds, and we see that Black is pushing quite aggressively. Her pawns E4, G5. White managed to bring her knight to E3, but knight H5 is a tricky move because knight was heading to F4. That's why it felt as White needs to exchange. But then F5, F5 is coming, F4 is threatening, and it's very, very unpleasant for White right now. She needs to stabilize this position to stop somehow Black's pawn. She doesn't think about stopping. She's pushing her own pawns forward. Well, very double. Oh, knight takes F5. Oh my gosh, knight takes F5. Knight takes F5 again.
Queen!
Yes. Black played knight C3. Katerina missed this, and immediately after rook E to D1, she realized that she had this chance of knight takes F5 check. But Daria missed it for the second time in a row, and then Katerina managed to win this game. Alina won her game as well. We can switch to the games that are still being played. Oh my god, what a tense battle between Daniilan and Olga Babi. Alina Daniilan and Olga Babi. I'm sorry. Alina should win this one. It's a queen's endgame with an extra pawn. But yeah, and she has enough time, it seems. But of course, queens endgames, they are tricky. Black needs to get her queen to G1, somewhere around G1, and try to give as many checks as possible. More pawns are being exchanged. That's of course a good thing for Black. But why is it so difficult to play on seconds? Because White is dreaming of exchanging her queens. If she exchanges queens, then this position is instantly is gonna be lost for Black. So it's very hard to play with Black. It's very hard to defend on seconds because you need to watch out for these exchanges. Queen of 2, of course. White is trying to exchange. White is going to play king f4 now, king e5, bring her king closer, and try to create checkmating threats. Yeah, and it's almost impossible to save it. And Elena advances, and what we can... and Savita, she won against against Gulnar Mamadova, and we have the semifinals.
Oh,
Now, Alina
nice.
Bivol is going to play against Katerina Lagno, and Elina Danilan is going to play against Savita Shri. So these are two semifinals, and as I understand, they're going to start one by one, so we can focus on each a single one of them. We're gonna have more time. It will allow us to understand a little bit better what's going on, because of course everything is happening so fast that I just missed a lot of fight in the what's happening here.
Yes, so we have this game between Arm Queen and Alina Bivol. Wait, was it a tie?
Why? Alina won, no? Alina won her first game. Why are they playing 3 minutes game? Something's going on.
Yeah, this is okay. Then this game will be aborted.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the worst case, the game will be aborted. No worries, no worries. To our dear spectators, yeah, abort mission. And now they're
Okay.
offering a draw. Yeah, there we go. Alina is a true gentleman.
Gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman. She could, instead of aborting the game, she offered the draw and lost some rating points.
Okay. I mean, sometimes you can just forget about rating points.
Especially online, yeah.
Yeah, online the chess, it's hard to. Okay, not clear why this game began.
I think it was, yeah, I think there was a miscommand. I have to point out to
But
all viewers.
why?
Yeah.
It was a draw in Alina's first game.
Oh, that means it.
Why is they playing the second one? Is it a
Because if it's they need to decide who is going to advance to the
wait. What is the in the event of a tie break in the 1+1 time control will take place, but it doesn't says how many games are there. I'm just reading the regulations. So how many games? Because I thought it's just one game. The tie break will consist of one game.
Alina won.
No, they are playing the second game.
Okay, yeah. Let me. That's a good question, Alexandra. Okay. So yeah, there was a technical. Everybody's playing. Okay, so there we go. Everybody's playing.
So okay, you forget everything that I just told you. I don't know why is it like this, because usually on chess.com tournaments it's the other way around, and okay, I was just I thought that it's the same way as
yeah, I think this is the pairings, this is the arbiter, so
yeah, because I'm reading your regulations, and it says that in the event of a tie break in the 1+1 control will take place, but it doesn't say how many games are going to be played in this tie break, and I just thought that it's going to be just one game. Okay, so let's focus then. If it's this way, then it's this way. But what's gonna happen if there is a tie? That's my question.
Then I think they continue until there is the result.
Well, but then why to play two games?
Yeah, I see your point. Okay, so the arbiter says though it's 2 games, 1+1. I think, Alexandra, I think this is our first one, so at least we know what to improve for the second one.
There's always space for improvement.
Yeah, let's put it this way. Let's put it the
Okay, but it gives a chance to the players who just lost, because we thought that the game is over. No, it's not over. The match goes on. No semifinalists are known yet. Now, some players are in a must-win situation.
Yeah. Well, you know, Alexandra, even if it was confusing for us, what I know for sure that players were told the format
of course,
by the arbiter, and they knew it. So at least those who were confused were us, the commentators and the viewers, but not the players. So at least everything is fair.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. Yeah, I think the arbiter let them know, yes, about the format, and we see We see Olga winning this one. How did they? It says a
Wow.
draw. No, she lost. Why it says a draw? I think she lost the first one in this Queen Sand game.
Hmm.
Why it says 2.5 to 2.5?
Yeah.
And Katerina Lagno is also the result.
Maybe
Well,
they made a draw in Swiss.
and actually Katerina is losing. Look, she's losing this one to
Oh.
Daria.
Yeah.
And meaning there's gonna be something again. I don't know.
Ah, yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
there's
so
gonna
now
be.
if the score is 1-1 and there is a score 1-1, we're getting to the similar situation where the decisive game is going to be played. Well, the game until the first win. Whoever wins first wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a draw. I don't know what's wrong. It's not a draw.
I
So
think it was a
Elena,
draw in their Swiss. You see what I mean?
probably Elena,
Yeah.
Olga. So the score is 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Katerina, Daria also 2-2. And Gulnar Savita is 2-2. And only Alina, how did she do?
So Alina Bevel is still playing with our queen.
Okay, we can have a look.
Yeah,
I
they're
have
still
no idea
playing.
what's going on.
This is the last game that is happening. We have some kind of an end game. We have it on our
Maria
screens.
needs to win, right? Yeah, Maria needs to win and she's gonna win. So what is the point of playing the second game? We're down to the situation where they need to play the decisive one. Okay. Whoever wins the next one goes to the semifinal.
Yeah.
Now we're back in time.
It's gonna be a mate. Yeah, there we go.
This is mate. And now it's
Also 2.5 to 2.5. It means that the counts also the
they
Swiss.
canceled. Yes, they canceled this game. They aborted it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that one was aborted. All right, so what do we have now?
Now we have decisive games. Finally we have decisive games. I don't know why this another mini matches were played, but anyway, the score is still 1-1 in all 4 matches. Amazingly, right? Or maybe Savita. How did? Yeah, I think Savita lost. So it's 2-2 everywhere. The scores are gonna be updated soon. Don't worry.
Yeah. So once again, I think it's at least we will know what to improve for the next one. I try to recall there are sometimes those tie breaks when you play 2 games 1+1, and then the third game you play 1+0.
I mean, Dina, anything is possible. I mean, you can run it either way, but it just the important thing is that it's written in the format and the players know that. So I just reading the regulations, I don't see it. But anyway, if the players know, that's the most important thing, and apparently they knew so.
Yeah, they knew because the arbiter now is with them on the call. We will also, by the way, bring the cameras later on to the knockout. When we will be in the finals, we'll show you the players as well.
And now the decisive games just started. What game are we gonna look at?
Okay, so we have Arm Queen and Alina Bival here.
Okay.
And
Let's have a look.
yeah, let us jump to Katerina Lagno. She deserves a shout out, being a clear favorite here.
Well, I mean, it was another Caro-Kann defense with knight takes f6. And we see that white managed somehow, I don't know how it happened, but create a passed pawn on d5, which of course is a huge, gives them a huge space advantage and positional advantage, because the pawn on d5, it's kind of restricting black's pieces, and the diagonal, look at the black diagonal. Now the bishop is gonna go to c3 at some point. The pawn on f4 is hanging. At some point it just it's gonna be tough. So the queen goes to f2, attacking the pawn on c5. Now there can be a plan of transferring the bishop from e3 to c3 or b2. I like this idea, but Katerina has another plan in mind. She prefers to attack on the queen side. The only drawback of this plan that it kind of opens up a little bit the position for black, because right now they're struggling. It's almost like this suffocating of this with this pawn on d5, and b4 gives them. It feels like it gives them some counterplay. But we see that since the pawn went from c5 to b4, it let white bishop go to d4, and the knight goes to f3 now. And white is taking pawn, and then back to d4, and then c5. Oof, it looks bad. Yeah, it looks bad. White broke through, so her plan worked out. Katerina's plan worked out, and yeah, the position is just hopeless for white. Daria is trying her best. She's trying to play fast, and she's trying to hold, but just look at the time. Katerina still had 30 minutes, because it's not 1 till the end, right? It's 1 plus 1, and checkmate is coming. Yeah, rook h8. So Katerina is in the semifinal, and we can get back to Alina versus Maria game. Alina.
So we do know already the first semi-finalist.
Yeah, and I think the second one as well. Alina is winning.
Yeah,
Alina just
that.
won. Who else? Gulnar Mamadova is won. And the only game that is left is between Daniilan and Olga Babi. And it's a tense game. I mean, it should be a draw. Oof, rook f5. I don't like this move. Rook c7 looked a little bit better. It's scary to put the rook on f5 because it feels so trapped there. But look at this. Black managed to create a counterplay to the e3 pawn, and now white's pawn are so badly placed that pawns are gonna be. Oh, the bishop is gone. The bishop is gone. It's not about what.
Oh, second bishop.
Rook a3. My God.
Second bishop. Two bishop blunders at the
It's a draw. Wow, what a turnaround, because black managed to create a counterplay, won a bishop, and then blundered mouse slipped. It was definitely a mouse slip. She was about to play rook a2 check, and she played rook a3, and yes, it's a drawn, theoretically drawn rook endgame, but I mean, they could have carried on, but black was under such a shock that she just repeated the move. She still has an extra pawn. Yeah. She still can improve the position. It's very unpleasant position with this pawn structure and the pawns on f4 and h4 requiring attention. So she could have played king f8, king e7, bring her king to the center, try to create an attack, but again, she was under such a shock and panic that she just repeated the position 3 times. What a turnaround. What a save for Elena.
Yeah, definitely. That is a game she will remember. So that means that we will have one more game with these two players. We won't.
Yeah, we should.
Will.
Yeah,
that's correct. That's the third game, and it finished in a draw. And there we go. The game just started.
Yeah, spectators said that everything is frozen. I don't know why, but our cam seems to be...
Yeah, let me check that. Thank you for noticing.
Okay, good. Yeah, so now we can... Everything. Okay, so very classical opening for a bullet game. Just a queen's gambit, except it was e3, right? A very calm variation with isolated pawns is often created here after black takes on d4 at some point. White is taking usually with a pawn. And this kind of pawn structure and this kind of position can arise from many openings actually, but no. Black did not take on d4, and white instead, she pushed the pawn forward. So another structure, another plans for sides. This pin, okay, white kind of unpinned, moving her queen away. But black has a good position. I think they got out of opening with a very good position. The pawn on c5 is very nice in terms of it gives black's knight many squares to jump to, right? It controls b4 and d4 squares, and it's important for a knight to have such squares as here. Bishop takes f3, and we see that pawn structure on the king side for white is destroyed, And there is a plan with bringing her rook via d6 at some point. Rook d6, rook d6. I like this idea very much. And I didn't really like moves bishop f6 and queen d7 because of that. Well, I think black should have started the attack a little bit earlier. And now this a5 move, undermining the pawn on b6, and bishop takes c5 is possible right now. Okay, black meets this idea. It was possible, although it was quite difficult to spot because the bishop on c4 was hanging.
Wait,
And
what?
now we see some kind of tactics. Bishop takes c5, queen takes c5, or bishop takes f7 was the idea. But now bishop takes b5, and the idea is to take on c5 and to take the knight on b4 again. And white is pushing. I mean, after all this, after smoke disappeared, we see a very good position for white. And we see rook d6, but bishop takes f7 was almost winning the game. Instead, white missed this tactic. It's very easy to miss. And black did get some counterplay. The knight is coming to d4. Oh, I love the move knight d4 instead. It went to e5, and again, black is a piece up. Let's see, attempt number 2 from Olga. Will she be able to win this one with an extra piece? Because we remember how she... Oh, no, the knight is protected. That's good. I thought that she blundered her knight again. No, she now brought it to d4, a great square where the knight is protected, and now she can... What's happening? My gosh! Queen a8, look!
You're a
Look,
king!
Elena. It's not over yet. Rook g5 is rook f6. Rook f6 is wrong. Now, okay. Instead of queen g2, queen f3 has been played. Ooh, what a terrible. We've seen such a terrible mouse slip. Have you seen it? Queen f3 instead of queen g2 winning the game. White blunders her queen. It's just too long. Instead of queen g2, check, and game over. Queen f3. Oh, that's an ouch. Yes, that's. But well, okay. In that terrible cases, I say to myself, well, let's agree that at the beginning, I mean, at some point the position was just hopeless for white, but she managed to find this rook d8, queen a8 regrouping and create checkmating threats and almost turn the tables around, but no, queen f3 ruined everything. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Indeed.
and how many mouse slips did we have in this match? Either way,
Yeah.
Alexandra, we are about to take a 5-minute break for both players and
Required.
us commentators, and
Yes.
let us take some moments to breathe and be back to our viewers very shortly.